think we'll just start. We'll be giving people enough time to join. Good evening, everyone. I hope you can hear me. I hope you can see me. You just see me for a few minutes. I just want to show my face. Today we marble,
What is looking so
blessing.
fresh?
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so guessing you can see my screen. I will just start with a little introduction so we know why we are here and introduce the guests we are having today. So if anybody joins, they can just continue from there. And yes, this session is recorded and it will be uploaded in YouTube for anybody that missed the session. They can just go back to YouTube and watch it if they really want to. Okay, so this is in it's the Girl Child campaign. This is a vision that I had about 2 years ago. And today is, by the grace of God, International Day of the Girl Child. And I believe that all of us here, we are girls, we are ladies. So, welcome and happy International Day of the Girl Child to you all. And the international theme is the girl I am, the change I lead, the digital generation, girls living at the front line of crisis. But I just felt we should just make this a digital girly thing because we are in a digital age and we need to educate ourselves on what it means to survive this world. If you want to be in the front line of crisis, then you have to also be digital. The whole world is getting digital. So that's basically why we are here to educate ourselves, to get acquainted, to learn. It's all about leadership. It's all about putting yourself out there. It's all about taking the lead, like I said, leadership. Just a moment. All right, so before I introduce the other guests, let me just start with myself. After that, I'll introduce all our four guests and we'll just start with the first session. So this is not supposed to be more than 2 hours, not supposed to be. So each person is having about 20, 25 minutes and trust me, it's going to be value packed. So don't miss any session. Each speaker have something different to deliver. Each speaker have something valuable that you can get. So stay tuned and stay to the end. And like I said, those that joined in early and will stay to the end, they have free airtime. And at the end of this session, I'll be announcing something huge and I'll be giving out a free gift, something worth about 50,000 naira to some people. So just wait to the end and see. So first of all, my name is Peace Etum and I am a virtual assistant. I won't go all over this because this should be this you are already seeing my screen, so I won't just read verbatim, but I'll just tell you who I am for who I am. My name is Peace Etum and I'm a virtual assistant. So sometime in 2021, I decided to learn virtual assistant and I got in via scholarship for after the whole training, there was no opportunity for mentorship or internship and stuff like that. So in 2022, after I graduated, I decided to teach other people what I've learned, but do it a different way. So I started an agency. I don't just teach people the skills, I give them a community that they can feel love. I give them a platform where they can work on their self, they can work on their skills, they can maximize what they've learned and probably earn too. I give them the opportunity to have free access to me, mentorship. Sometimes I tell them 6 months mentorship, but some people think like lifetime mentorship. They are just in my DM whenever they need my help, and I'm always there to help them. So I've been helping business owners with virtual assistant. Most people do not know what virtual assistant means. Most of them don't digital, of course, for them. I think that at the end of this webinar, you'll go digital at every cost. So I'm like a personal assistant, but I work online. And then somehow I have this flair for NGOs. I don't like seeing people, especially being treated properly. I don't like people suffering. And somehow that was last year. That was last year. I and my husband had the vision to start an NGO and we played the Nation Initiative. So I brought my vision, he brought his vision. I was just passionate about people, wanted to use my voice to like say no to this, we don't like this, help if you can. And then he was like, okay, we can incorporate digital skills in that. And that was what we did. We teach digital skills in our NGO free of charge. Yeah. I'm also a serial entrepreneur. I do baking, fashion, I have a lot of skills. Some people say you are how do they call it, jack of all trades. Yeah, I'm a master in just a few of them. I'm a very religious person, a child of God. That is me. So let me go on to the very first speaker for today. very first speaker for today. Old. So in this program, we decided to incorporate different people. We brought someone in the religious background. We brought someone in virtual assisting, like what I do, because I'm not going to do more of the talking today. I'm doing more of the moderation, the summary, just sitting around and watching other people. I want to learn us. So I brought someone in the tech space. Basically, she's a virtual assistant also. And then I brought someone in content creation, like she does videography, photography, and all of that. So I think those are the major places where we can use our voices to reach out and lead with our voices. So the first speaker we're going to have today is Miss Blessing Go. She's an entrepreneur, a serial entrepreneur, does a lot of things. She's a hairstylist. She owns an agency, an ushering agency. She's a very, very passionate girl. She loves God, like she loves God. So she started her movement, which is called Mission to Clock. It's called Mission to Clock. So she goes to 20 cities, schools, preaching the word of God, like a convention, like a conference, something like that, an evangelic movement. So she's a perfume vendor also. She creates exclusive fragrances that uplift and inspire. For 9 years, she's been dedicated to missionary life. She has organized different missionary groups. Like I said, she does a lot of things for God. She's also very good protocol, like this chief usher, like ushers the big men of God. Yeah. And she's also a music minister. She has released so many songs, and her most recent, I think that was 2022. I think that's the most recent. One of her songs, Holiness Come, which she released in 2023. I think you can stream that if you've not heard of it. It's on YouTube. It's also on her page on Facebook. I think she can also drop the link in the chat so you can listen to the song. It's a very soul lifting song. As a youth leader, she guides and mentors young people within her church and across non-denominational groups. She's also a pastor in training. So we're to be calling her Pastor Mrs. Blessing. That's powerful. And her leadership skills have been strengthened through several training programs. She loves to learn, just like you are here. You love to learn. That's why you are. She likes singing, she likes swimming, she likes dancing, and she likes working out. At least I've seen some of our workout videos. All right, that's Miss Blessing. The second person we'll be having that will be teaching us is Miss Ruth. So, like I mentioned earlier, Ruth is an executive virtual assistant, and recently she has gone into the AI space. Like she does mad AI. She's CEO of Sweet VA. You can check her out on Facebook and Instagram. She's also, like I said, she went into AI recently, so she has Ruth AI. So you can also check with AI online. She does a lot of AI stuff. She's a system strategist, AI system strategist. With her foundation in executive virtual assistant, she has helped more than 20 entrepreneurs, startups, ministers, sure, just a great person. Help them streamline their internal operations, increase overall productivity by 60%, that's way above average, within 6 months. So the goal for business owners is to be more productive, and that's what she helps them do. So she goes above that, above just managing tasks. She thinks, she responds, she evolves with her clients' company's goals. So as an AI strategist, she have designed and deployed operational frameworks for her ministries, for missions, for marketplaces, that have had reduced systems that have had reduced turnaround by up to 45%. Okay, so she believes that every operational design should amplify intelligence, create opportunities, remove friction in the remote setting. And she believes that with more ladies on board, we can create more opportunities. Okay, the last person for today, which is our videographer and photographer, is Miss Ditie Idako. So she is a motivated, I hope I pronounced that correctly, creative, with a deep love for music, storytelling, and videography. So she's mostly into content creation. She creates engaging content for personal and external brands, blending creativity and strategy to help ideas come alive. And on screen, her videography experience spans diverse projects from church productions and music videos to brand collaborations with notable clients such as Film Anatomy, Auto Girls, Euro Global Center, Digital Customs. Those are the clients she's worked with and more. So she's driven by passion for storytelling and visual intelligence. She brings imaginative concepts to life through her work in media and entertainment industry. She by creating visuals that connect, inspire, and leave lasting impressions. So yes, that's all about Miss Itie Idako. So I believe that most of us or all of us we went through the Google form for our registration. Before Miss Blessing just comes on board, let me tell you what she'll be talking to us about. Just a minute. All right. So the topic this lesson has is strength on all fronts. This should be educating us on spiritual, physical, emotional, and mental resilience for girls on the front lines of crisis. So we brought this in first because before you can understand all the complicated parts, you have to be whole, right? You have to be whole physically, spiritually, mentally. You have to understand who you are as a person before you can lead other people. So she will be setting the pace before our next speaker comes on board. If you have questions, you can drop them in the WhatsApp chat. I'll be taking note of that. And just before our session ends, she will take all our questions. All right, Miss Blessing Gold, you're up. I've made you co-host, so you have free access to do whatever you want.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. If you can hear me, just use the emoji because this is the first time I'm presenting on Google Meet. Yeah, let me tell you my secret before you start to wonder why some things are acting the way they are. Thank you so much, Steve. I'm so glad to be here tonight. My name is Blessing Gold Felix. Thank you. I can see your husband is here. My guy, good evening. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you,
I
ma'am.
want to welcome you all I want to welcome you all to this webinar. I'm so happy. First of all, when Peace invited me, I'm like, oh, first of all, you're telling me when we're going to celebrate the girl child's day. First of all, that was like, I didn't have any idea it was going to come. So thank you so much. I'm glad to be here. And I'm glad to be meeting all of you. I'm glad to see my baby girl Ditie here. I'm glad to see all of you. I don't know how many persons are on this call, but I feel we're going to catch up maybe in the middle of this meeting. We'll just dive into what God would have us, here tonight. Thank you. So before we proceed, can we just say a word of prayer in Jesus' name? Father, we thank you for
Amen.
today. We thank you for all that you have done. We thank you for our lives as girls, as women in the making. We thank you for what you are doing in us, through us, and for us. We are so grateful. Lord, we ask that tonight, all that we need, you would speak to us. All that we need to know to move to the next level of our destiny, you will give to us. Thank you for the daughter you have used to gather us tonight. Lord, we pray that all that she desires, you will give to her. You would help her make excellent progress in all that she does. In Jesus' mighty name we pray.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you. So, I'm supposed to be sharing my notes here, please. Can you see my screen now?
Yes. Okay.
All right, all right. So we're going to see what quickly. Let's see what digital leadership means. Digital leadership refers to the strategic use of technology to achieve business goals and drive organizational change. It involves leveraging digital tools, data, and innovative strategies to enhance productivity, collaboration, and overall employee and customer experience. So, what this definition is trying to tell us that technology is supposed to make everything we do better. It's supposed to make our lives very easy. And if you look at this definition, you would see some vital points here that is telling us that we can, our business can drive more sales through technology, through collaboration, just like Pete is coming out to collaborate with all these ladies in different sector of life with the help of technology. I don't know how many of you in your mind you are still living in the days of our parents. I want to call you forth to this current age. It is an age where everything you do is supposed to be easy. Most times not as easy as I'm saying it, but we have so much. We have so much information, we have so much help. But you find out that most of us were not making use of this help. So that's why God is having us learn tonight that technology is supposed to make our lives easy. Whether you are a business person, you are into the corporate world, you're in music, anything you do, technology is supposed to make it better. It's supposed to give you more innovation. So you're not supposed to be where you are. Maybe you're here now, but let's look at you after this webinar. In the next 3 months, you're supposed to have moved. Are we following? Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Can you hear me? Okay, okay, thank you. I can see the emojis. Okay, so let's look quickly. Girls in leadership. Girls in leadership refers to the concept of empowering and supporting young girls to take on leadership roles, develop leadership skills, and become influential. Gone are those days where because we don't know something, we're not willing to try it. Gone are those days, you know. And I was giving the example when you called me up to come share this topic with everyone here. And because I have never shared on Google Meet, I will not start giving excuse that are not, they cannot hold anything. Gone are those days. So as ladies in leadership, whether we know it, we don't know it, can you can you answer the yes already and begin to ask your fellow ladies information? Can you share with me what you think about this thing? Can you share with me, for example, I was with somebody that she was privileged to be on a hot seat, like a seat she has never been on before. She was called up to give a talk on with a group of top people, like, her level has got to that stage. But just imagine her saying no. She said yes, and then she was on that seat. She was busy chatting every one of us. Can you please send me points on this? Can you please send me what you think about this? And there on that stage, she was just busy hammering the thing. You would think that she knows all that she knows. No, technology helped her to collaborate with everybody that she could at that point. I hope you're following me. Just trying to give like an overview so we don't leave where. Yes, yes. So let's quickly move to girls in leadership, various challenges they face. I'm going to be using my life as an example tonight. As a girl in leadership, I have encountered so many things. Saying what digital leadership is, and I also explain girls in leadership. And I'm going to move quickly to girls in leadership, various challenges they face. And I said I'm going to be using my life as a case study. Trying to be where people already know that guys are to handle these things, guys are to lead this fair, and I'm there. It has been a tough one. But as God will have me, in long run, I've been able to develop a rigid scheme where it's so hard for you to tell me that this is meant for a guy. I don't believe it. I believe that for something to be done, you need somebody, and if somebody is not there, I am there. It has to be done. So, personally, as a spiritual leader, I don't want to be where the grace of God suffers. I don't want to see if I get you that God's work is suffering and I'm seated and you're there, we're going to have issues. But I'm not going to come at you and then try to be violent with you. But you're going to notice that my countenance would change towards you. So various challenges that one can encounter as a girl in leadership is violence and exploitation. You're a female. God already said about the weaker vessels. So these guys think because we are weaker vessels, we don't have blood flowing in our veins. We don't have strength in our muscles. I dare to tell you that it's a lie. So we face violence and exploitation. We have limited access to education. Gone are those days where parents would say that because they have female children, then they're not going to spend their money on education. Gone are those days. You need to see what girls are doing. In fact, talking about me, my dad was so intentional about me because there are some parents that will see that this child is the one that is going to make us proud. The way they are growing, you already know that this one is eager. This one is eager to learn. This one is eager to, push. So they want to spend more on you. They want to push more on you. Do you understand? So child marriage, pregnancy, mental health issues, lack of representation and support. But gone are those days. Girls, you have good representatives. You have women who are striving to say that we are weaker vessels, but we know our strength. We know what we can do. In fact, we have trademarks. We're not just coming out to say we can do this. Look at where we're coming from. Look at the footprints we have left. Okay. So when the topic came up and people were telling me the girl and the change I lead, I discovered that this topic is a powerful one. This topic is trying to tell us that, anywhere you are as a girl, you're supposed to empower people around you. When you leave a place, you're not supposed to leave, people confused about who you are. You represent power, you represent leadership, your identity is intact, your impact, they are always positive. So if you don't go with anything tonight, go that wherever I set my feet on, people should see me for who I am. I am coming with something that is different from everybody. I am coming with something that speaks positive. You know, there's a story in the Bible where God asked um, Joshua and Caleb to go inspect the land. They should go see the people in the land. And before Joshua and Caleb went, God sent some other guys to go check this land. And then they came back and said, "We are like grasshoppers. We are like grasshoppers in the face of these people." They saw themselves so small. They saw themselves as grasshoppers. When Joshua and Caleb went, they said we can actually do this thing. So what this story is trying to tell us that if you don't know who you are, there's gonna be a problem. No matter what you are driving, no matter where you are leading, if you have not discovered who you are, and not just discovering who you are, you own it, carry it on your head. But you have found out who you are, this is what I'm going to sell for the rest of my life. Are we following tonight? This is being my DM. So you tell me how many minutes is remaining.
Yes, sir.
So I move it. Okay, ladies. I said that it's not just about discovering who you are. When you have identified who you are, you run with it. You speak and talk about it everywhere you are. Carry it on your head. When people see you, there's a time in my life that people will see me and then they don't know what I do exactly because I was doing so much. But I told myself that if God, since I'm working with God, eventually you're going to discover. But now that I'm working, I am a bundle of so much. But eventually you're going to know what I stand for. Okay, so let's move. So quickly, my topic today says strength for all fronts. Strength for all fronts. Spiritual, physical, emotional, and mental resilience for girls at the front lines of crisis. When you are a leading lady, there are some things you need to go with. And so I'm going to use that illustration from the parable Jesus gave us about the 10 virgins that were waiting for their prince, right? You know, five were wise and five were foolish. So the Bible says. But it doesn't it doesn't change the fact that these 10 ladies were all virgins. So everyone in this meeting today, let's say for example, we're all virgins, right? But you must know that for you to be a leading lady, for you to move forward, you must carry extra oil. Extra oil. So this extra oil is what we're going to be talking about. This extra oil is what we're going to be taking on, even as we make progress. If you look at the flyer today, where you're seeing me, seeing the likes of Pete, Ruth, Ditie, and myself, we're like Apostle Paul. We're not getting to where we want to be. What we're doing is we are still chasing for the mark of the high calling that is in Jesus Christ. We're following. And this is just one of the process we're following to get to our goals. So we're all taking this oil along. So while I'm speaking to you tonight, I am speaking to myself. I am encouraging myself. I am reiterating. I am reminding myself that as I make progress, I need extra oil. I need to be resilient because this place I am standing, not everyone is opportunity to stand here. Not everyone has the power to stand here. Not everyone has what it takes to stand here. But because God is enabling me, God has given us the privilege to be on this webinar tonight. It means God is enabling all of us to make progress as a leading lady, to make progress as a lady that wants to lead in every sphere, one sphere at a time in life. So God is giving us extra oil. So one of the things we're going to be learning tonight is know God and then you will find purpose. Each and every day we live, we discover who we are. Each and every day we live, you see that new faces of yourself begin to unfold, but it does not change who you are. It does not change who God has made you to be. That is why when we go out of God, there's actually a problem. It now means that we are dying. In fact, we are dead. So we find purpose only in our Maker. We find purpose only in our Maker. Remember the scripture that was telling us in Romans chapter 12 that we should present ourselves wholly as a living sacrifice. When you come as a living sacrifice to tell God that, Lord, I am here, I am your sacrifice, that's when God begins to open you up to who He has really made you to be. In order for the woman to truly fulfill her purpose, she has to understand the purpose of God for humanity. So if you don't go close to God, you cannot really find who you are. And don't forget, I told you, as we make progress in life, we find out that every part of us begins to unveil. There's some part of me that you can now see that 2 years ago, a year ago, I didn't know that it was in me. But because I am stuck with God forever, God opens me up to different issues of my life. So one, you must know God, then you find your purpose. And then number two said mindfulness and meditation. We have to deal with God's word. We must every day return back to God's word. It is the blueprint for our progress. I don't know how we do it. There's sometimes I'll be in a meeting and then a scripture will pop up in my mind. And maybe that current time I'm arguing with people. But this scripture will pop up in my mind. I'll go and share it on my status. And then when I come back, maybe when I finish what I'm doing, I'll come and check my status and I'll begin to see what God was telling me at that time. So God's word is when you meditate, you remember the scripture where God was telling Joshua to meditate on his word day and night. But there you will find good success. It is true. It is true. It is true. So one of the first points we considered is spiritual resilience. We must be so, pushed to know what God would have you do that time. While I was in this meeting, I saw that Pastor Jadel joined. Pastor Jadel Godwin is a pastor's wife. If she doesn't stay close to God in this phase of her life, she would not know what God will have her do at every time because she has a living husband and she has people to carry along. But peradventure she stays close to God, God begins to unveil to her what she should do as a pastor's wife. Because being a pastor's wife is not enough. She has her own goals, she has her passion, the things that drag her. But the more she stays with God, the more this unveils. So we're seeing that spiritual resilience is very important as a leading lady standing in the face of crisis. Because every day we stand up to say what we are, explain to the world what we are, we find out that there's somebody opposing us. So they just told me 5 more minutes. So 1 more minute to go, guys. So let's keep it on. So I pray that there'll be more minutes. We can come back. Let's quickly finish this note. So we're seeing number one, spiritual resilience. We're seeing mindfulness and meditation. Let's look at physical resilience. Self care is very important. If you know me, I am crazy about fitness. What runs in my family is fat. I don't want to be counted too. So I'm making preparation for any fat that wants to please is our way. And apart from dreading the fat issue, I want to be fit in my mind. That's one of the things fitness does to you. It makes you very fast. It makes you do things. As a human, as a woman, we are multidimensional. But a fit woman is one that is extra multidimensional. So emotional resilience. We will not be able to exhaust this, but just go through my notes. And I'm going to end here so that other speakers can continue. If God gives us time, I'm going to tell you more stories. Thank you so much. Thank you, please. God bless us all.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you so much. It's quite unfortunate we cannot pick everything. We had to run with time. Okay, so we are going to be moving on to our next speaker for tonight. So this first section was to make us know that we have to be fit in our spirit, in our mind, in our body before we can lead. We cannot lead when we don't have it. People they want to know who they are following. If you are not mentally stable, you are fighting depression, you are obsessed with one thing or the other, you are oppressed, low self-esteem and stuff, it will be very difficult to lead. So, and our grounds were on God. Everything we need, we find it in God. We can say, oh, there are people that are outside the world that are doing very great, but trust me, you can try it and it will not end well for you. So we need to be sound all round. All right, and next speaker is Miss Ruth, and she's going to be taking us on the topic Girls in the Digital Workforce, Striking as Techies in a Global Economy. So, Miss Ruth, over to you. You are co-host, so you can do whatever you want.
All right, good evening, everyone. I want to say thank you to Mrs. Peace for giving me this opportunity to be here. So very quickly, I'll be sharing my screen, and then I'll just kick over. I won't even take much of our time. So I'm Unugi Ruth Specie, and then I'm an executive virtual assistant, and I have just been here for like a couple of periods. So much. So today is International Day of the Girl Child, and I want to say I'm still a girl, a growing up girl, let's say, in digital workforce, and I'm sure most persons out here too are also that way. But very quickly, according to my slide, what you see is girls in a digital workforce, thriving as techies in a global economy. And then the slogan you see there, it says click, create, and lead. So we are all ladies, right? And the next thing you see there is girls in tech. A lot of we've had it over the years where people say, oh, the tech space is just for the guys alone or for male generally. But in the last 3 to 4 years, girls have really double tracked their pace in the remote settings or in the tech space. So I want to say that we are ladies, of course, if we are needed. Male always have that idea of they have the logical reason to put things together, but be the feminine factor. We are also needed in that place where we call the economy industry or global industry, where we can bring in the emotional parts, bring in our own wisdom, not just emotional, but the creative side of things per se, and then bringing our own wisdom to putting things in order and ensuring that things are on track. And there is also productivity right in time. So I want to go down. So under these girls in tech, you see the digital skills training, you see mentorship programs, you see inclusive hiring practices, you see global collaboration. So in all of this sector, you are going to find yourself there. In fact, on a scale of 1 to 100, most likely in this current economy, you're going to find like
it's not even 50-50, like 50 male, 50 female. Sometimes you see ladies surpassing people around this age, Miss Peace earlier mentioned that she's someone that is multi-talented. She does baking. She's what they call it, an executive virtual assistant. She's also a project manager. So different kind of things, So if you want to say this, you would believe that you would agree with me that even when we go down to our respective homes to manage the little tasks that we have, we can still bring that up in the tech industry. Just a practical illustration. So one of the persons I like work with, I came in just let's say last year, and then we've just been working. We had about 33 persons in there, but out of nowhere, it's not because of I knew what I was doing. Maybe I knew, but not because I was just that one person that was actually picked out of those 33 persons. But I was actually picked out because of my proactive nature, because of I even got to know recently from my clients because he started stating out something because of some little things that I could do. So sometimes most of those little things you feel that are not relevant or insignificant are those things that might kill you up to the next point. Please let me be sure that I am communicating, please.
Yes, ma'am, loud and clear.
All right, thank you. I decided not to put in my like see the other participants so you can get a clearer picture of my slide. So I want to say that it be all like after the whole illustration and every other thing, I found myself as the only girl working in the midst of 5 matured men. And at the point I got to think about it, I was like, this skill is not something that I just develop one day. So just because of now, naturally, I am a very curious person. I like to like go in and research about stuff. I like to do some things and ask questions. Miss Smith will tell you that a lot. So I like to do all of that personally, and then I like to collaborate with some persons too. So it was as a result of maybe some of those little things that I did that took me down to this place where I am. So out of like 5 persons, I am the only girl. So I said this because most times being young ladies, they feel like, why should I even be in the tech space, or why should I bring myself up there? It's those little fears that limit our possibilities of things. So I'll just be a little bit fast, but I hope in 1 or 2 points I've been able to state 1 or 2 points there. So in any of this sector, you would find yourself there. And on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 to 100, like I earlier mentioned, you would actually see ladies dominating in the sector. So you can pick any of these platforms or any of these sections and then find yourself in there and collaborate with persons. So here you see a thin line that says from learning a skill to leading a team, digital tools are our launch pads. So just a personal story again. In November, I just relocated to Lagos, Nigeria. And then back then, I didn't have a very good system. I only had my smartphone. And then what I knew was social media management. So I just told myself one day, I'm like, let me just give myself 3 months, locked up in the room, and then I pick up what I need to do. I just get good at it and push myself out there. Let's see what will happen. Funny enough, I decided to like be very active on LinkedIn. I'm sorry I'm bringing LinkedIn up, but still no apologies, basically. But I know the general cliche that comes around when you hear LinkedIn. So this is the personal story, right? So I locked in myself there, and then I just graduated from ALX. I was still doing an internship program under Mr. VA, virtual assistant internship program under Mr. VA. And I was like, okay, let's combine these two and see what works. So my sister will go to work out, and then she comes back. I will burn her data. I'll burn her data, and then I'm just learning. I'm also putting out screenshots of things I have learned outside there. I'm also going into people's DM, and then of course seeing what works. I'm saying this to explain this particular line, like your digital tool, your smartphone is your launch, can be your launch pad. So at the end of everything, in the space of 3 months, I got my first client, and then the second one was under recommendation. Why am I saying that? I said that because the little things we pay attention to. Now, let me still say this: when you hear of virtual assistant have been running a long time before now. It's just because we didn't realize, or we didn't really pick that name for it initially. At some point, I thought to myself, I was like, oh, so I could even do assignments for people online. I could even, out of the little idea I know or little things I know, because of exposure, let's say, I could actually offer my knowledge to someone and get paid for it. Are you aware that people even make money from LinkedIn optimization or Facebook optimization? It's as simple as that. So those are like virtual services. Those are like little services we offer. Do you get? I don't know if some persons are in school here, but those are, even if you are pursuing your postgraduate degrees, even if you are pursuing your postgraduate degree per se, you are assisting someone with the little knowledge you have. You can monetize that skill. So you can use your digital skill. Your digital skill. Sorry, you can also use your knowledge and your phone, your smartphone, and your system.
The ecosystem builder. So as a girl, you are the ecosystem. What do we mean by ecosystem? We are just a lot of things. Like a lady can be a planner today, tomorrow she's a tech savvy, tomorrow she's a church worker or church builder, stuff like that. So generally we have like different kind of things for we ladies. So you are the builder. In the Bible it says women are builders of their home. So you get to build. Now if you find yourself in an organization, for instance, you can set the pace of things in that organization. Sometimes of course, most times things go south while you're going west, but at the end of the day, you get to decide how to balance things. So just a very personal illustration. Couple of I think 2 weeks back, I had a project going on, and then I was stalked. Like, I was really stalked. I had asked questions on LinkedIn, I had asked questions on Facebook, I had joined different groups and communities. But at some point, I felt like the thing was not even moving forward. So I was thinking about it. At some point, I was like, oh, just get off this thing and then do this one. So what came to my head was to build up like create. Okay, Miss Fizz earlier mentioned that I do AI stuff. So I like created a digital product for my clients, and I just sent it across to him. And the next minute, he's like, whoa, you already saw the vision ahead of time. I'm like, which vision? You and who shared vision before? So what I'm saying is that's actually clicked with what he had in his head. So sometimes you might be having a particular project at hand in an organizational settings, but it seems as though it is not working, but you intentionally can be creative in that space and make things happen your own way. So that's just for number 3, ecosystem and builders. We are builders. You can do things wherever you find yourself. So here you just have like tools that skills. So in summary, in here you have master high value areas. Like, these are skills, right? You have UI UX design, digital marketing, AI, data analytics, and these are skills. These skills are like future proof. Future proof means in the next 20, 30 years, it's still in high demand. So you want to like go make a research and say, oh, what are the things that people would most likely need? Like, they need it now, and then in the next 30 years, it will be of demand. You can go in there and learn. I used to tell myself that, you see, coding, rara, you're not going to see me there when it comes to coding programming. I don't have the head for it. That's what I tell myself. But at some point, I thought about it again, and I was like, well, something will definitely bring you there. And of course, some things are actually getting me down to that area. So even if you have a particular skill, it is not always advisable to be enclosed in that particular skill. Be vast, be versatile. Some persons would want, like in the remote settings, people do not want to pay 5 different people in order to get one particular job done. Take, for instance, you want to build a website, and then at the end of the day, you need the assistance of a search engine optimizer, you need the assistance of a social media manager, you need the assistance of who else again, a web developer. You also need the assistance of a graphics designer. Somehow, these are different skills. Now, rather, a client to pick someone that has a knowledge, even if it's little or no idea of the different things around board, and then choose to work with you on that level. So pick a skill, learn on it, but still check out for other skills that are relevant to your field. When I got into the AI space, I was thinking, I say, me, Ruth, you're just here and there, here and there. What is even taking you into the AI space? How does it relate to executive virtual assistant? How does it relate to social media management? Because naturally, that's what I do. And then I thought about things. I had to like streamline those AI, like artificial intelligence. I had to like bring in the thin line to connect those dots to what I usually do. So you see that in AI, artificial intelligence, let's say, they create content, right? It's not just pictures, it's way beyond pictures. They create pictures, they do videos, they do digital marketing generally. So most times as social media managers, you have all of these things put in place for brands or businesses or ministries in the workspace to be able to use all these tools, artificial intelligence in quotes, to promote their business, their brand, their ministry. So sometimes it's going to get to a point that even pastors would have to preach. They might not necessarily preach on the pulpit, but they would also project things that people would have clearer view, like it's connecting to their audience or congregation, most likely. So we are getting close to that future, even in market settings, and businesses as well. So next thing you see on my slide is financial impact. So acquiring digital skills translates directly into greater earning power and stability in a volatile global economy. So financial impact, as you're earning, or like I'm just saying this in summary for this quarter, as you're earning in there, like you're getting things from your skill. Also ensure that you are also investing in things. People talk about stocks a lot, and some persons don't see the reason or the need for it. You are a lady, right? You don't want a situation where your husband will come out and then at the end of the day he's coming back, there's no sugar in the house. So because there's no sugar, you've not made dinner for that night. Even me, if I be man, I go vex. So that's like what I'm trying to say, quote unquote. So financial impact sometimes you don't really have to do with money, or yes, money is involved, but at some point you have like people investment. You get to invest in people as well. You can go in for trainings, train people. You can also like pay for courses for people to learn. There was a point in time when I told somebody I didn't have money, so I told somebody, hey, I want to learn this skill, and the person is like, what will be my benefits in it? I'm like, oh, don't worry, take a cheap pay. I would get it when I need it. So that's like that for that. Combine passion. So you have to, in all of this, while you're picking a skill or a career, you have to like combine passion, combine your interest with things. Another thing is grow strategically. We had made mention of meeting your fellow girlies. We had also made mention of even if it's not your fellow girls, you can meet up with like generally men per se, but you want to be strategic in things and know where you are, where you're investing, like where you're placing all these your fruits. So at the end of the day, you get to reap the fruit of your labor. Now, some person Miss made mention of she's going to upload this particular webinar on YouTube. That's like long-term investment plan. You get, so that's like a strategic process of things. She don't want to. Many people have webinars. Many people do a lot of things, and then at the end of the day, it's just down the drain. So that for growth strategically. I'm almost like I'll be wrapping up this slides very shortly. It says build your digital confidence. In summary, okay, now I'm going to pick up this very first thing that says tech isn't a boys club, it's a brain club. Tech, it's not a boys club, it's a brain, it's a brain work. Generally, it's a brain work. So if you're not thinking you're wrong, if you're thinking you're still wrong, but ensure that your wrong is the right kind of wrong. I don't know if anybody got that, but ensure that your wrong is the right kind of wrong. So think strategically and then think with your brains. Of course, a lot of persons have brains here, a lot of persons. So ask questions loudly, and then join supportive tribes. Metro VA is there. We have other tribe communities. Show, don't just tell. Show workings, like show workings. You have to. You don't want to be speaking in the thing air, and then people are like, "Hey, waiting you don't do. How far? Where evidence? Where? Show workings." So down here, these are like from local talents to global earners. I just have a simple illustration down here that says, imagine Aisha from Kano. Sometimes when people mention Kano, you feel like, oh, Kano is a remote settings. We still have some very good areas in Kano, but Aisha from Kano learned virtual assistant services on YouTube. Imagine that. And then she now works remotely with a fintech in Dallas, Texas. Like Kano, this Dallas, how it relates. It was just mindset, it was skills, it was proactiveness that made her begin to work in Dallas. So that's like a typical illustration of how a girl child should reason, how a female should reason. Next thing is, Miss P, please, very shortly, I'll be off. Freelancing equals freedom plus responsibility. So yes, there is freedom in the freelance space. There is also a lot of responsibility. Maybe many persons do not tell you this, but while you're building from scratch, please endeavor to set up systems and structures, set up people that will be able to hold you by the hand when you are choosing, like you're feeling like, oh, this thing don't too much, I beg, I need to rest, I need to sleep. So it has a lot of responsibility, but be ready for it. So how do you get ready? CEO of your time, become a CEO of your time, communicate clearly to your clients or bosses or whoever you're working with, communicate to yourself as well. Then diversify your income. You say, look beyond clients' work, build digital products. Maybe when you see this slide, you'll be able to read that. So I just want to say very quickly, technology has a part to leadership. Do it and lead. Do it and lead. Vision and strategy, you should have that in mind. Empathy and inclusion as a female, it's a very key important thing. Then build on visibility. You don't want to build in on WhatsApp and people are not even hearing your voice on the media or internet. The next thing is, don't just get ready for the future. Build it. You don't wait and start saying, oh, the future is here or it's far. You have to start creating something now, even if you're not clear about things. Now, a lot of persons say, oh, I have all this in mind, and this is my plan, this is my strategy on how things would work. And then when they start up, they begin to twist things along the line. What I'm saying is this: you might not be clear about whatsoever you want currently. Yes, some persons have all that figured out right from scratch, but you might not be clear, but you would find out when you start and along the way. So thank you so much for having me. It's a wrap up here. And then do well to follow me on Facebook or Instagram. I'm your call. I don't know how to say that, but Shasha, my name is Ruth Onyegi. And thank you so much, Miss Peace. Over to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Michu. That was quick. Um, so Ruth is trying to explain that we have to strive. There's competition out there, but then we are leading. We should lead at the front line. Don't say, oh, there are so many people doing this thing. So what will I go and do there? There are so many content creators. What's the probability that my own will blow? Strive, strive, strive. We are in a global economy, but you definitely will be heard if you say consistent. Thank you very much. Please, if you've had any questions so far from the first session, second session, you can drop them in the WhatsApp chat. We can take them later, or we can take them in the WhatsApp chat. So our third speaker, which will be kind of the last speaker for today before I just come up to wrap everything up, is our one and only Ms. Ditie Idako. And then she'll be taking us on digital storytelling, how young women can lead change through content creation. All right, Ms. Ditie, the floor is yours. You are co-host. You can do whatever you want. Finally, someone put up a face.
My face might not be up here for too long. I just wanted to show my face before before
Sorry,
I
that's fine.
get into the whole session. Hello everyone, how y'all doing? So like I've been introduced before now, my name is Ditie Dako. You can call me the Global D. I love being called the Global D actually. So I would like to thank I would like to thank Mastrova, the CEO of Mastrova, Mrs. Peace Etim, for this opportunity. And I'm really glad to be talking about digital story and how you can be a leader in that field. So yeah, let's dive into the session. All right. So I'm sharing my screen right away. All right. Okay. So my face is still showing though. Wow. Okay. I'll still leave it like that. All right. So I hope okay, no problem. Let me just maintain myself. All right. So we are talking about digital storytelling and how young women can lead change through content creation. This is a very lovely topic for me because it has been a strong desire for me to see that people influence people via the media space. So you guys should buckle your seatbelts because it's going to be a very beautiful ride. All right. So yeah. So our introduction, the power of story in digital age. So every generation has its way of shaping the world, and for us, it's through content. If you guys remember, like for how people usually influence the world those days is that they have to travel from one country to another, but someone can literally stay by inside their house and just create one content like that, and before you know it, it's going to influence different perspective, different mindsets, culture, and systems. So today the internet has become the loudest voice in the room. So what you post, what you share, or even create can won't even just entertain but can also influence, like I spoke about, can inspire, can inform. So that's to tell you how deep content has grown, up to the extent that it can be pushed on the internet and influence people's mindsets and so on. So, digital storytelling is a tool of influence. And as we proceed, you will understand what digital storytelling is all about and why is it a tool of influence. I believe that every single person that is on this call has been influenced via the media in one way or the other. So, let's dive right to the next slide. I don't want to take too much time, but I think later on I'll share this slide so that you would read through. All right. So, next slide. Understanding digital storytelling. Understanding digital storytelling. Digital storytelling is the art of sharing stories through digital platforms using videos, podcasts, graphics, blog posts, social media content. And I can even add this one, even via a picture, images. Like you can just look at an image and you can read a story through it. You can see someone taking a picture of a child begging for money, and another child in the same age range looking so clean and looking, just imagine a picture where someone is, let me say someone that is 8 years old, a small boy, and another boy. One looks tattered, the other one looks well, organized, looks rich and everything. That picture alone tells a story. So yeah, as long as it is online, as long as it's on a digital platform, it is telling a story. So it's about merging creativity and purpose to communicate experiences, emotions, and ideas that drives impact. That drives impact. So, unlike traditional storytelling, if you remember when when you are young and you just find out that your dad just tells you a story or a historical this thing that happened in the past, now you can find it on the internet. So as long as it is posted online, it is content. It's a digital content, yes. And as long as it drives a point and it lands an impact, it's all a story. It falls under that storytelling line. So for young women, please listen carefully. This is a powerful gift because connection builds communities and community builds movement. This is influence. I had to mark that one you read because as long as you put anything on the digital space, you are in one way influencing people without you might not know, but you are influencing a lot of people. As long as you put something out there, you can influence people, maybe it's educationally, maybe in their mindsets. Think about it. Many people think that it's just videos and it's just graphics, but it's deeper than that. I think we should all look back and think about how far and vast we have gone in this digital age, up to the extent that young guys are being influenced by the music put out there, by the videos put out there. Just from seeing somebody spraying money like this, that alone is an influence. And most of us in Nigeria understands that alone is an influence. So whatever is being put out there on the digital space has a form, or way of impacting people. All right. So I'll go to the next slide. I hope you are taking notes. We have been able to see how digital storytelling can influence people. In fact, digital story equals to influence. You can even write it in your book. Digital storytelling equals to influence. You might not see the impact now, but later on you see it. So that's why it's good to be very cautious when you're online, to unlearn things, because sometimes you not know how you will not know. Pardon me. Sometimes you might never know how it has gotten into you, entered your gates. That's through your eyes or your ears, and has influenced the way you might react to things without knowing. So let's all be cautious, and still in a bit of being cautious, let's also know that it's a space of opportunities. So why young women matter in the digital space? Why young women matter in the digital space? I understand that to an extent there is a mode of comparison because most ladies out there like pushing their glamorous part of them, but usually it's the authentic part that people are usually drawn to when they see how you are very authentic in the way you communicate things, whether it's via your business or your lifestyle or even personal brand or even your growth journey. Like personally, on my personal page, I usually showcase my media journey to inspire others in the creative sphere, and also share about my faith too, so you too can influence people. So why young women matter in digital space now? Through our stories, we can awaken purpose and inspire possibilities. Sincerely speaking, you really matter because you can influence somebody without knowing. I'm speaking from experience too. Pardon me. I'm speaking from experience. You can influence someone without knowing. You can influence someone into awakening their purpose. Some people might just have a slight pinch, like a light, just like um our our first speaker, Miss Gold, spoke, how you find purpose by knowing God. When you know God more, you find your purpose more, right? And now just imagine you're a Christian and you're illuminating the light of God through the works He has given you. Through you too, someone can also awaken their purpose. So putting yourself out there really matters as a woman. In fact, if you have a social media platform and you're not putting yourself out there, I would say that you are wrong, sincerely speaking, because we are reaching a space, a place where if you don't have a if you don't have a digital footprint, it means that maybe they might not even believe that you are born in this generation at all, or you're not even meant for some certain kind of work. You need a footprint at least on the digital space, so you can awaken someone's purpose and inspire possibilities. Okay, so from storytellers to change makers, we can create, influence, and redefine culture. I've been stating it right from the beginning that we are called to be leaders. We lead people through this sphere. We lead people. And yeah, authenticity is our influence, and our voices are our power. So you have to note that. I don't know how you want to use the media space, the digital world, whether it's to drop newsletters or tell the truth about a lot of things. You can influence different people, not only ladies. You can influence the world from your social media platform. It's just for you to decide what you want to do. So if you look below, you see influence is the goal. Influence is the goal. Say after me wherever you are. Influence is the goal. Influence is the goal.
Influence is the
Influence is
goal.
the goal.
Influence is the goal.
Okay. Thank you very much. So the role of social media in amplifying voices. The role of social media in amplifying voices. So social media does more than give us a platform. It gives us power. It gives us power. It gives us power. You have to notice this, that social media gives us power. So I'm sure you might be seeing WhatsApp, the WhatsApp icon there, and you may be wondering what's WhatsApp icon doing there? What is it doing there? It has to be there because it's not only a messaging platform, but it also has a lot of features from social media platforms, and even from your WhatsApp story, you can influence systems. So it's very good. Sincerely speaking, I would advise anyone personally. So if personally, the kind of family I'm coming from, we don't usually, you will not really know a lot that's going on, except maybe you are close and we can even tell you. So trying to push myself personally online might not be easy, but how I started pushing myself out there was when I started surrounding myself with people who do that too. So I would advise anyone that is here too. You might not know exactly what you want to do, just like the second speaker said, Ruth spoke. When you are entering the career, you might not know exactly what you want to do. You might be multifaceted like me. I love a lot of things and I do a lot of things, but starting with something can help you towards that goal, towards that vision and purpose. So I would advise anyone to use whatever platform they have to influence the culture. Be a leader in your sphere. You are a leader. So social media has key roles, and number one here is visibility. Visibility. Social media makes your message seen and heard beyond your immediate circle. Seriously, I've been able to connect to people around the world because of social media, whether it's through my post or even through someone else's post. I connected with people online. Connection is the same thing. It links you with people. So visibility is a personal one where you are being seen by people, right? Connection, you link up with people who share same passion through social media. I've been able to connect with people with like passions. I'm so grateful. It might not be easy at first. Some people might have the natural flair to be pushing themselves online like that. So, but it might not be easy at first. But when you influence people, whether it's through your business, whether it's through your personal page, or it's even through a platform that you want to use to influence people through a particular sphere. Maybe you're a lawyer, or maybe you are an accountant, but you're doing things in the right way with the right standards and principles. When you start influencing people, you start seeing that you connect with the right people that will have the same passion. So advocacy, it helps transform your personal voice into collective action and awareness. You tend to see that people will start for me, for example, I like calling myself the global D. And automatically many people like calling me the global D. Now imagine if I had a tag, like for example, maybe I start saying influence the world, impact the home, maybe impact your home, influence the world, as impact people within and you influence the world. Imagine if I started having that tagline. Before you know, I'll have people around me that are saying it. It might not be immediate, but you start seeing a lot of people that are saying it, right? So um what is influence? This is what I've been saying from the beginning. Leadership is equals to influence. If you're a leader and you're not influencing, and your leadership is questionable. So I've been saying it right from the beginning. Digital story and how women can lead through the digital world. All right. So social media does not amplify what you say. It amplifies who you are and what you stand for. I'll say it again. Social media doesn't amplify what you say. Social media doesn't just amplify what you say. It amplifies who you are and what you stand for. Thank you very much for that time being stated. So content creation as leadership. So what separates entertainment from leadership is intention. What is your intention? What is your intention? You need to have an intention behind every single thing. So content is more than entertainment, like I said. It's leadership. It's a leadership tool and a voice for impact. It's a leadership tool and a voice for impact. So what do you want to use your social media platform for? That's the intention. What is the result you want to see? What are the kind of people you want to influence? What are the kind of people you want to influence? So, because all this is because in the end, digital story isn't just creativity, it's leadership, a purpose. You need to have a purpose. You need to have a purpose. So, tools and platforms for effective storytelling. There are a lot of tools you can use depending on what you really want to do. Personally, I use CapCut or Adobe Premiere Pro, which is a professional video editing software, to edit my videos. If you go to my social media platform, the Global DEE, you would see my videos and you see the quality of content that I also create. So there are a lot of tools that you can use for your um creative journey for on the digital space. All you have to do is research on the kind of things that you need, connect also with people that have similar passions with you, so that they can also lead you or guide you on the kind of tools to use for your journey. So yeah, I'm going to the next slide right now. Overcoming challenges as a young female creator. So most times it might not be easy because, like I said it earlier, there might be self-doubt, pressure, online pressure, comparison. But the truth is that impact doesn't need perfection. It needs authenticity. 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 You need authenticity. If you really want to strive out there and people see how raw you are, they know that this one we can follow her and everything. Have something that you can sorry let's not be that you are trying to push a face in which you are not. For example, let me say first time I want to push myself online, I carry a digital camera that is 8K quality. I'm talking about like all these expensive cameras that the quality is very high, and you start renting for a start. There's nothing bad in renting if you have the money, but if it's something you cannot sustain, after a while you see that people are seeing a fluctuation of your content, or of the quality of your content. How much more in things that you believe in? If you have things you believe in, and you're not pushing it out there, you're pushing things you don't really believe in, you cannot even defend yourself. People will see that you're not authentic. You have to let there be a track record that, oh, she said this thing before and she's repeating herself again. So you have to be very authentic. All right. And how to stay in this space actually is you have to be consistent. You have to be consistent. You don't even look at the numbers. Don't even look at the people that are following you. Look at the impact. You look at the impact. All right. So we have finally reached the end of this beautiful session. I'm really glad that I've been able to talk to you people about digital storytelling and how you can lead. It's very important, and I believe that what I would advise everyone here to do is do a self-reflection on the kind of things you want to put out there on the social media, not only on your WhatsApp status, but have a footprint on your other social media accounts that people can go back to and say, through this person's influence, I was able to do this. And before you know, you raise a community or you raise an army that you never expected would even happen just by posting that content. So you can be a leader. And yes, happy International Day of the Girl Child. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Global D. Thank you. That was a beautiful session. Actually, everything you post online is content, though. whether it
Yeah.
is you in the restaurant or you anywhere, that's content. So what's your content doing? Are you leading with your content? How are you influencing people? Thank you so much, ma.
Thank you
Before
very much.
I just wrap, yeah, before I wrap up, Miss Ruth, please can you take that question just so in case we don't have time?
Is it for me or I should?
Okay, two
Is it for me or I
questions
should
for you.
go?
Yes, yes, you are good to go, Miss T. Thank you very much. Thank you,
Okay.
Kimberly. Yeah, if you have any questions from this session, please just drop them in the chat. But we should you have two questions in the WhatsApp. We can take those two briefly. We may not be able to go in detail because some of these things are things that you need to learn, like acquire a skill in. But she'll just give a brief, just on the surface, um, and explain. So, Miss Ruth, please over to you.
All right, thank you so much, Mrs. P. So very quickly, the first question says, how like I should speak more on Facebook optimization. So just shortly, it's about a clear caption of what you do, services you offer, or even though you're not offering a service, maybe you have a business. So you have to state that on the bio section. So I don't know, can I quickly share? So it's a lot more practical. I'm not going to take time, please. I'm just time conscious. So
Yes,
let's
please.
say, for instance, all right, thank you. So you have this. I don't know if you can see my screen now, but I'm sharing already. This is your bio section, right? So you have where you have executive virtual assistant. You might not necessarily be a service screener, someone that offers digital services, or you can have like a business or a company. So you have to describe that here shortly, make it striking, just your service, and then what the client gets to benefit whenever they get your offer. Another key thing I want to state is on your profile, all of this, they are important. Now, recruiters are looking out for these things. They want to know more about you because it relates more with them. So if you're just stating what you offer up here and all of these details here are not they are not available, it breaks trust per se. It breaks trust. I'm sorry, I'm a very fast speaker. So that's how I would answer that. Another thing at your heading too, you want to showcase either your picture or something about yourself, but ensure you have like a clear profile picture. You can do this for Instagram as well. So that's what I'll be sharing as regards that. Then the second question says AI, how do you like learning digital skills, digital marketing, data analysis are future proof. But I'd like to say that there are AI tools that can do all of these things, and then tech stuff like data analysis design. Of course, yes, you're correct. There are AI tools that can do all of these things. But the truth remains that if you have, let's say you're building a website, for instance, and you are using an AI tool, you still need that human touch to change things a little bit to the way you want it to be. So that's human design, that's human I'm looking for the right word, but that human touch is also required. So how do you make yourself future ready? Yes, you know about the AI space. You know about how to use artificial intelligence, like software tools to get things done quickly and fast. You should also be able to know how to use your creativity. Like, of course, you're thinking from your mind, right? Your brains. You have to use like the creative aspect of your own idea and then take things to the way the client wants it to be. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but that's like a short explanation on the second question that was dropped. I don't know, Miss Ruth, have I been able to answer your question? If not, I don't know, Miss Kiss, can you hear me? But let me get
Yes,
it if
thank you very much,
that
ma'am.
was clear. All right, thank you, Miss Kiss. Over to you, please.
All right, so just in case you are not clear, she can do an extensive voice note in the WhatsApp chat or any other questions that may come in, we'll just put it in the WhatsApp chat. I want us to leave it by 10 p.m. So um, I'm just going to do a brief, I'm sharing my screen now. I may not be able to come on video again. So I'm supposed to just summarize the core topic, and it is leading from the digital frontline. Leading. There are keywords there, leading, and then digital frontline. If you remember, we're saying the international topic was girls on the front lines of crisis. Now we can lead digitally, like Ms. Ditie had said, Global had said, as Ms. Ruth had said. We are trying to put ourselves out there. So when people be like, for me personally, when I was growing up, I was like, I don't want to be a leader. I like to follow. I like to follow. I was like, okay, even if I would lead, in fact, people were like, you will definitely lead at one point of your life or the other. I was like, even if I would lead, I'll just lead my family when I get married, my children. But then you are leading in one way or the other, so you need those skills. You definitely lead, so you need those skills. Now, leading from the digital front lines, what does it mean? We are empowering a generation of girls in tech. There is no way you can avoid tech. You cannot. As far as you are in Nigeria, you are currently alive in 2025, you cannot avoid it. If you avoid it, someone else will do it the wrong way, and you are just there, you know the right way, folding your hands, watching. Change begins with you. So you have to leave that change. So what does it mean to be on the digital front line? What does it mean? It means that you are part of the global conversation happening online. You're not just sitting down, folding your arms and watching. You are also participating. The digital world is a new battlefield of ideas, and women must not stay silent on this front. Will not say no, like Miss Ruth said, it is for the boys. No, even the ladies are supposed to be out there. And it's not about you creating content for your business, even for yourself personally. You are out there. People can be like, oh, I'm a virtual assistant. I've been assisting for 2 years. And people will be like, oh, I've never heard of you. I've never seen you. Because you will not put yourself out there. You will not. So the digital world is vast and you must not be silent. When you create content, you are not just entertaining, like Global D said, you are influencing people. You can either influence them positively or negatively. If you don't influence them, other people will influence them. And you'll be part of the people that will be influenced. When you manage data, unless you are an accountant or you're a virtual assistant, you work with businesses, you are not just doing your work, you are organizing companies' habits. You are putting your work into their productivity. When you design websites, whatever you design, when you code, you are not just doing your thing, you are leading innovation. Okay, so in this age, visibility equals influence. I pin that up. Visibility equals influence. If you are not visible online, you are not influential. People say, oh, I'm only visible in my church. How many church members do you have? Nobody knows you. People say, oh, I'm only visible in I own a shop. People in my area, they know me as the best vendor. But then outside, there, nobody knows you. You're not influential at all. And then influence equals leadership. You can speak and people will listen. There are people that they are big names now that they are so influential. Once they say Facebook should shut down, it will shut down, twinkle of an eye. Once they give a bad review about your business, you go bankrupt. So influence equals leadership. Being on the digital front line means you are not waiting for permission to lead. You are leading by showing up consistently, skillfully, and confidently. You carry it on your head. Whatever you want to do, maybe maybe yourself. You must not sell a product. Brand yourself. Let me not go too far. I think that's in the next slide. Okay, next slide. Who are you? So, like I said, you must not be a business. You must not be a product. You can brand yourself as a person. Who is Speeds? Who is Ruth? Who is Blessed? When people hear your name, what comes to their mind? What's inside of you that the world hasn't seen yet? What's inside of you that only your husband knows, or your children know, or only your siblings? Like your bathroom is your concept stage. Your bathroom is where you display. Your kitchen is where you display. The world doesn't know. Every girl has a potential to become a change maker. And as you said, girls are taking the lead. Not just leading from the back, leading from the front line. Some of you can be storytellers, some of you can be organizers, some of you can be content creators, some of you are visionaries, missionaries. You can lead. Let's face the fact, the future of work is digital. We've said it already. As far as you're in 2025, you are in Nigeria, you will not escape it. You will not escape it. According to the World Economic Forum, over 80% of new jobs require some form of digital skill. This means girls who embrace technology, even at the most basic level, will have a seat at the global table. I heard that at some point, very soon, doctors will be outdated. Like we have robots performing major surgeries. So how can you stay relevant is that you have a tech skill. Accountants to be irrelevant. Customers are, we have bots that are replying to customers' complaints. You will be irrelevant if you don't have a skill. The criteria for even employing people is that either you can code, like Ruth says, is running away from you, or you can do something meaningful. You can do something that you can program an AI, you can program a robot, you can program a bot. You are not doing things manually. They will need you very soon. So in my VA bootcamp, I mentioned earlier that I'm a virtual assistant. In my VA bootcamp, I teach people skills. And that's because I understand that people need them. You cannot escape it. And people that have invested in these skills, they are making waves. I'm proud to say that Alice Ruth was in one of my boot camps, and she has learned so many other skills. Every time I see her in one webinar or the other doing things, seeing her content, I'm like, oh my God, Alice, I put small thing for this girl. And then so many of my students are out there that are getting clients, they are making waves, all of that. And I feel proud, right? I feel like, oh, I've touched lives, I've led the lives of people. Which life have you influenced with your own life? Who are you? Okay, so leading from the digital front line, That's what it looks like. Girls who learn, girls who earn can now lead others. Like we had our first teaching, I told us, you cannot lead people when you don't have it inside of you. You cannot live when you're not physically stable. You cannot live when you're spiritually stable. You cannot live when you're not mentally stable. You cannot live when you're not emotionally stable. You have to know it, you earn it before you can lead others. So I think it should be my last slide. So how do you lead from the digital front line? Let's say, you've just been hiding. How do you do it? How do you come out? Because this webinar is to bring girls out of their shells. Because most of us, some people have painted the story that women are supposed to be in the kitchen. Their role is in the bedroom. No, they're supposed to be on the front lines, and then even more digitally. Number one, learn intentionally. That's one thing you can do. Learn intentionally. Don't just be online. Grow. Some of us are online. We have lots of followers. We don't do anything. We don't post anything relevant. Like, we have good audience. If we can groom our audience, nurture our audience, once I mention your name, everybody will know you because you have the audience. You have it. You have the online space, and your voice is not coming out. Your own is just to follow other people, like their posts, and do your thing. And then the one that is bad, it is in your heart that you condemn them. Why don't you go out there and put it out there? Like, let me just bring this up quickly. I went for a convention. I'm a review member, and then a father in the Lord was like, people that are coming now saying bad things about the church, saying bad things about him. If his children, which are online, can come out there and say the positive things, nobody will pay attention to the bad things. If there are people out there putting out good content, nobody will be patronizing those bad content creators. So learn intentionally. Learn a new skill every month. You cannot afford one. There are many free online courses out there. Some of them have certificates, some of them do not have certificates. You learn, you practice, you learn. You cannot be online. You cannot be online. You don't have to use some tools. Very soon, Zoom will be like, I know when we're in lockdown, people were having their meetings online. Learn new tools. Now, if you go online, like we're talking about AI, you just sit and pass. Learn it. Because you don't know when that thing will come in very, very handy. And you'll be like, oh, I saw it on someone's page. And then you, as a tech, you can put that thing out there. Somebody will be like, oh, I got this thing from this person's page. Show up consistently. Post your work. I have to tell people, I carry my matter like on my head. Share your progress. Visibility is power. Don't be ashamed to say it. And when people look down on you, that's the stepping stone. That should trigger something inside of you. Like, what am I not doing? Like, what triggered this person's bad response? Work on it. Show up. Then monetize your knowledge. Monetize your knowledge. Yes, you don't be ashamed to collect money for it. There was a time I was having free classes here and there, and then sometime last year I decided to charge for the first time. This year my bootcamp is about 35,000. I'm not ashamed to charge you money. I'm not ashamed for people to pay because the value I'm giving is a lot. And then I tell people what my bootcamp gives. I'm going to bring that up later anyway. But what my bootcamp gives, people are paying 70,000. They're not even getting it. They're not getting it. So be free to monetize your skills. Don't wait for someone to hire you. You can create jobs for yourself. I quitted my job. When was that? That was before my wedding. That should be this year. And I told my husband I'm not going back to work. Like, I'm not going back to a 9 to 5. If I'm going to work, it's going to be hybrid. I'm going to build my career. I'm going to stay at home. I'm going to be the boss. I have virtual assistants working for me. Sometimes I don't even do the work. I'm going to do it myself. So feel free, create job opportunities for yourself, and then you also lead others. When you create jobs, you lead others. If you sell something, you have a sales girl, you have empowered somebody. The next one is mentor others. Don't just be the only one knowing it. Sorry about that. Don't just be the only one that knows it. I'm very, very happy to share my knowledge. Like, in fact, like I said it before, I'm excited when I hear my students telling me about the clients that they had, the issues they had with their clients, how I can come in. One of my students even was telling me how one client was going to breach a contract with. I asked her, how much is this client paying you? When she told me, I was like, whoa, this one that was complaining about money like last year, and she says she's working with 4 clients. What one client pays her, if 4 her, she can sack her boss. She's a student. When she met me on Facebook, she she didn't have anything. She had to wait for my free class, join the class, and now she's making waves. I'm very happy to mentor people. Are you happy to pass the baton to someone else? The moment you learn something, teach another person. That's leadership. When you teach someone else, you are leading. You don't need a big pulpit. You don't need a podium. You don't need to be a superstar. Even in your church, like Miss Gold said, you have a pastor's wife. Even in your church, like your fellow pastor's wife, you can do something there. in your office, you can do something there. That's how you push, you go out. Some of us can sing very well, but we only sing in our bathrooms. Nobody, you know that, like, I don't know if it's truth or global leadership. You can monetize your social media. So the song you are singing for free in your bathroom, people are making waves. They are making money out of it. For something they do with so much passion. All right, stay grounded in your values. Leadership without integrity is noise. Don't be proud. Stay humble. Stay disciplined. Stay kind. So the front lines of tomorrow's leadership are digital. Even pastors have gone digital. Most of the pastors that are very, very influential, watch it, they are online. Even the ones that are not online by themselves, they have PRs that are online for them because they know that they have to be online. The world is online so much that so many, if you are not online as a pastor, even your church, the unbelievers that will be there will shock you. You have to go online, preach the word, sell your product. If not, nobody will know you in a matter of few years. The front lines of tomorrow's leadership are digital, and the leaders are girls who dare to learn, dare to learn, dare to lead, and lead others. If you don't lead others, you are not leading. If someone cannot say, "Oh, that's my mentor," he's not led. It's always be a follower. Being a girl on the front line isn't just about fighting fires. It's about creating solutions. It's about owning your voice. It's about owning your value. It's about owning your space. We will go to the slides later on. Let me just rush that. Now it's time to lead from your own digital frontline. Now I'm going to ask you, what will you do after this webinar? What would you do? You don't need to answer that. Just ask yourself. Like, I've asked so many questions within this short period. What are you going to do? How are you going to influence your world? How are you going to use technology to influence your world? How? All right. So before we wrap up today, I said earlier that I had some registry offers for us, and I know I mentioned in oh, I don't think you can see my screen. Can you see my screen? No, I don't think you can. Okay. So I'm just going to share that with my phone. Let me download that. Okay, so I'm done, but I just wanted to bring an offer to us on the table for us that are here. Put an offer on the table for those that are here right here in this form. So I'm having a boot camp. I'm having a virtual assistant boot camp, and that boot camp is worth about 70,000 naira, but I'm giving an early bird fee of 35,000 naira. And this boot camp is starting on the 27th of this month. Yeah, 27th of this month. So I'm just going to give a brief. Some people are like, 35,000 is big. When someone asked me today, he wants to start to join my boot camp, and I was like, "Oh, if I know another boot camp that does data analytics." I said, "Not exactly, but I know someone that has a course on data entry." I shared the person's profile with him, and then he said, "Nah, he wants someone that does what I do, all the specs after classes and between classes." And I'm like, I haven't found, but when I do. So what makes my academy unique is that outside teaching you 12 courses this year, 40 softwares, 20 AI, because we have to go digital. You get a free certificate, you get 1 year free access to all the courses for reference purposes. And then these people, my students, get to join my active VA community. Sometimes we share jobs, sometimes we share other skills, sometimes we share other courses. We just interact there. It's like a family. Then we give you 3 months internship to practice what you've learned with real clients. We give you a 3 month visibility push because you have to be online. The goal for teaching my students is that they also start their brand. That is the goal. The sky is so big. All of us can be at the top. I don't plan to be at the top alone. So when I teach them, I try to raise them up. They should also be virtual assistants. And for 3 months, I'll help them push online. And then I give them 6 months mentorship. I mentor them one-to-one. They're my DMs whenever they like. Then I'm married though, but I can always reply to their messages. And then sometimes I say 6 months, but then even to today, I have people in my DM that were in my class 2 years ago. So this is the third edition of the boot camp, and it's for 35,000 naira. There's something else I wanted to share with us. The courses, it's also in this slide. You will see that. Where is that? Where is that? Where is that? I think I passed it. So we're having 12 courses. They're on the slide, and then so many other perks that we can benefit from. But now here's the catch. So some of us can be like, "Oh, I don't want to learn a skill right now. It's not something I want to do. I don't have the money." We have a referral program. We have an affiliate program where you can invite somebody and you get a 15% discount. So if someone pays 35,000 naira, or the person pays in 2 installments, we accept 2 installments, you get a 15% of that person's registration fee. So imagine you have 5 people that you can tell them that I can empower you with a skill. They have the money, they want to learn. You just put it in their faith. But some people, they want to learn this, but they have not found the right academy. They have not found the right course. You know that they need it. You give it to them. You offer it to them. You convince them to register. You tell them all the benefits. That's why I'm telling you now. I'm telling you of the benefits, so you can also tell them. You get 15% off. If you can get 10 people, that's a lot of money for you. And then for my students that have been with us before, I'm giving them a 20% discount if they want to learn again. I don't think, okay, only one person was there, but now she's a big madam. So people that have been in my class before, I'm giving them a 20% off. And that's it. The second offer, I said I was giving out free airtime. I don't think it's only one person that have stayed to the end of this call that came early. She was among the five. I think it was among the five people, aside the guest speakers. But how many are we now? One, two, three, four. Okay, four of us outside the speaker. So I think I'll just pick some people and give the airtime to. But I have a book that you would like. I have a very beautiful book that you would like. It is worth a lot of money, but I'll be giving you for free. Why? If you follow our social handles. So I'll be dropping our social handles in the WhatsApp community. All you need to do is follow us. You get to learn by following us. That's a good thing. You get to know when we post any updates, any courses, any webinars, that you are notified when we do that. So when you follow us at least on 5 socials, we're going to post all of them. You follow at least 5 of them, take a screenshot, or you follow, take a screenshot, you follow, take a screenshot. I know it was a part of the form. If you followed when you registered, better. If you were already following before this webinar, that's the best. But if you are new here, just follow and then send screenshots to my DM and you get your book right at your door, like your online door. Okay, we're gonna just end it here. If you have questions, please, 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 please drop it in the WhatsApp chat. It's gonna be open for a while, and by the grace of God, we'll see you next year. I plan to make this a yearly something because International Day of the Girl Child is every 11th October. So every 11th October, we'll be having programs like this. But Menstrual Initiative is going to be having programs, and when we do, I'm going to be sharing them in the community just in case you have people that are interested. So, here's a wrap. I believe we've learned something new today. I believe that even though you and even those that watch the recording, I believe that we have a mindset shift and will be influencing our own corners. Okay, any questions? Are we good to go? Are we good to go? Good to go? Good to go? All right, see one hand up. I apologize for taking 9 minutes of your time. See you and good night, everyone. Bye bye.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. Good night, everyone.